What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting from the D, and I guess it's NBA Finals time. I don't know if you guys have been watching it. I've not been watching it, but I saw that with the Thunder win last night, the series is now tied 2-2. I guess people were expecting the Thunder to win this series in like 5 games. That was the general consensus, but it hasn't been going quite that way. It's 2-2, and I just really wasn't that interested in this series. Not gonna hold y'all up. I was not really that excited about this series, so I've just not been watching it. I can't tell you the last time that I haven't watched the NBA Finals. If there's even one team that I'm interested in, I'll tune in, or even remotely interested in, I'll tune in. But in the case of the Pacers versus the Thunder, I'm just not interested, man. I don't really have even a passing interest in either one of those teams. So watching them play against each other for a chip, I that just really wasn't all that exciting of a prospect for me. Apparently not Stephen A. Smith either, because he's sitting at the game yesterday, and it's funny because this kind of went viral. He was sitting at the game yesterday. He's on his phone playing solitaire, and there was a woman who was sitting above him. So I guess she looked down, realized who he was, saw that he's supposed to be watching the game for coverage, and he's on his phone playing solitaire. So she snapped a picture of him. The picture of him went viral. It started being shared through other sports outlets. Stephen A. Smith quoted one of them and responded, yeah, that's me, but this was during a timeout, something to the effect of he can multitask, and especially during a timeout. Well, that turned out not to be true, because by him saying that, that encouraged other people who not only had pictures but videos of him on his phone from various different angles, and you can see clear as day he's playing solitaire. It's not a Photoshop. He probably could have claimed that it was a Photoshop or something like that if it had just been the one picture. He didn't know. He owned up to the fact that he was playing solitaire, but he tried to lie about it, saying that it was during a timeout. And yeah, he ended up even getting community noted. It says Stephen A. Smith is lying. This was during whatever quarter gameplay, not a timeout. And I'm just like, damn. So I honestly don't think this is that big of a deal. I understand it's gone viral, and I understand people's criticisms of it. It is a bit of a bad look, especially when he tried to play it off like, oh, it was during the timeout, only for people to provide various angles in a video of him playing it. But I'm just like, whatever. Listen, bottom line is SAS probably don't want to be there. He probably there because he has to. And I get it. He's paid to talk about sports. I absolutely appreciate that. He signed some $100 million deal with ESPN, and here he is there in the NBA Finals playing solitaire. I get it. It's a bad look. The reason why to me it's not that big of a deal is because if I had to be there, I probably would be fiddling around on my phone too, because this is just not a series that I think a lot of people are all that invested in. If you're in Indiana, of course. If you're in Oklahoma City, of course. For those particular cities that those teams are out of, locally they're a big deal. But I just don't really think that a lot of people outside of their immediate market are really all that invested. Even the NBA is seemingly not that invested in this finals, because they didn't even and I didn't know this at first. This was shown to me. They didn't even have the finals logo on the court or the Larry O'Brien trophy on the court. I don't know about last night's game, but I know previous games this series that they were using. I don't know. They were like not photoshopping, but they were using some sort of software to project it onto the floor, and it just looked really bad because if a player goes through the Larry O'Brien trophy, it's on top of him. So it's not like in the NFL how the NFL always has that first down line right there on the turf and the players can go over it. It doesn't interrupt them. They're not using that same technology. So even the NBA itself really doesn't seem all that interested in this finals. So can you really be mad at Stephen A for having a lack of interest in this when even the NBA itself, this is their product, their interest in it seems very low. This is just not really that exciting of a finals if you're outside of those groups. And no disrespect to the teams playing. Like these guys are consummate professionals. They worked hard to get there. I get that. I understand. It's just that these teams, the way they're currently constructed, the history of these teams, or well, recent history of these teams, it's just not really. These teams are largely celebrated for stuff that happened decades ago, or in the Oklahoma City case, when were they last like really, really relevant? After KD bounced, Russ like rose up and became MVP, and then he left, and they were just kind of waving in the wind a bit. And Indiana, man, they've been down bad for a while. So again, this is no disrespect to those teams. I'm just saying like these just really aren't that teams that people be like, oh man, like I gotta watch them. It's not like the Knicks, it's not like the Celtics, it's not like the Lakers. And every team can't be that. I understand that. However, when you find yourself with a finals with not one but two teams that they're kind of small market, well, ain't no kind of, they are both small market. You find yourself with two small market teams in the finals, and there's just really not that much hype surrounding them playing in it. People are going to phone it in a bit. So, no pun intended, but Stephen A. Smith, yeah, he got put on blast. He got caught. He was sitting there playing solitaire during the NBA finals. Oklahoma City nor Indiana are places that he ever, talks about he's ever excited to go to. I don't think I've heard him say anything bad about them, but the cities he likes going to, of them because he talks about them. Like he loves Miami. He loves LA. Obviously if it's something happened in New York, he loves there. He's a native New Yorker. But Indiana or Oklahoma City, it is what it is, man. I'm gonna leave it there, man. I don't really see a big deal about this. I think Stephen A. Smith is just gonna be more careful next time. He ain't, when he pulls out his phone. But I don't think if he's not on his phone next time that his interest is higher. It's not gonna mean that his interest is higher. It just means that he know people is watching him, so he ain't gonna pull out his phone this time. But let me know what you guys think. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do, and hit me in them comments. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.